air around us. Learning objectives. Role of atmosphere. Importance of air. Composition of air. Every living being respires. Balance of oxygen and carbon dioxide. We know that a blanket of air surrounds our Earth. All living organisms use air for breathing. Air is a mixture of gases enveloping the surface of the Earth. It stretches out into the space for about 1,000 kilometers. This blanket of air that surrounds the Earth is called atmosphere. The moving air is known as wind. If the wind blows at a high speed, it sweeps the dust, leaves, etc. along with it. Environment gets affected greatly by high-speed winds as they break the branched off trees and uproot them. In such a situation we call it dust storm. Sci facts. In hilly areas, in every summer there is a lot of destruction due to forest fire. Because of strong winds, a matchstick which is not fully extinguished can spread the fire to miles and miles. Role of atmosphere. Our atmosphere helps us in many ways. Some of these are described below. Atmosphere helps in maintaining temperature on the Earth at comfortable level. This is because the atmosphere reflects back a part of heat and light. Some of it is absorbed by the atmosphere. As a result, only a part of light and heat reaches the Earth's surface. Atmosphere protects life forms on the Earth from harmful rays of the sun from reaching the Earth. These rays are called ultraviolet rays. The ultraviolet rays can damage the life forms on the Earth. The upper atmosphere contains a layer of gas called ozone. Ozone gas absorbs these harmful rays and protects life on the Earth. Atmosphere controls the movement of the air on the Earth. Thus, atmosphere affects the direction of wind, storms and cyclones. Atmosphere helps in the circulation of water. Atmosphere sends back or absorbs a part of light and heat falls on the upper parts. Incoming solar energy 100%. Reflected by atmosphere 6%. Reflected by cloud 20%. Reflected from Earth's surface. Absorbed atmosphere 16%. Absorbed by clouds 3%. Absorbed by land and oceans 51%. 64%. 6%. Radiated to space from clouds and atmosphere. Radiated directly to space from Earth. Radiation absorbed by atmosphere 15%. Carried to clouds and atmosphere by latent heat in water vapor 23%. Conduction and rising air 7%. Importance of air. Air has many uses. We use air without knowing that we are using it. Let us see how air is useful. 1. Air keeps the Earth warm enough to support life. It traps the heat that comes from the sun and prevents the Earth from getting much too cold. 2. Air helps in bringing rain. The air containing water vapor rises up in the atmosphere. As the air containing water vapor rises up, it cools down and small droplets of water are formed. These water droplets form clouds. These clouds cause rain and snow, etc. 3. All living organisms breathe air. It vibrates their sound cords in their throats and they are able to speak. Air enables them to talk to each other. 4. Birds, flying insects and airplanes are helped by the air in their flight. The pressure of air along with other forces lets them float. Air also enables balloons filled with gas to fly by supporting them. 5. Moving air helps in winnowing and separating grains from husk. 6. The waves of sound travel through air forming compressions and rare functions. 7. Air helps in pollination of flowers and in dispersal of seeds. 8. Clothes become dry due to evaporation caused through hot air. A bird flying. Clothes drying outside. Composition of air. Air is a mixture of gases like oxygen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide, argon and water vapors. Besides, there are particles of dust and smoke as well as water droplets and ice crystals hanging in the air in the forms of vapor and clouds. Nitrogen, 78%, and oxygen, 20.9%, are the most abundant gases in the atmosphere. Other gases include carbon dioxide, 0.03%, and hydrogen, helium, neon, argon, ozone, xenon, krypton, all 0.97% together. Three of these gases of the air are extremely important. A chart of composition of air. Nitrogen 78%. Oxygen 20.9%. Argon 0.90%. Other gases 0.17%. Carbon dioxide 0.03%. 1. Nitrogen. Nitrogen is most abundant in nature's atmosphere. Nitrogen makes up nearly 78% of the atmosphere by volume. It makes an important part of protein molecules that are found in the living material of the tissues of all living beings, humans, animals and plants. It is an inactive gas. It neither helps burning nor burns itself. But being inactive, it puts a check on burning of things. Besides, it is useful in other ways. It is largely used in manufacturing fertilizers for our field. These fertilizers provide essential nitrogen to plants. 2. Oxygen. Oxygen is a life-supporting gas as all living things need it to remain alive. It is inhaled in the air and retained inside by the lungs. It is used to release energy from the blood needed for all life processes. Dissolved oxygen helps the animals living in water. Oxygen is essential for combustion, or burning, of fuels. Let us perform an activity to show that air is a mixture of two main gases. Activity 16.1. Take a glass trough. Fill the trough about 2/3 with water. Light a candle and fix it at the center of the trough. Place an empty, dry gas jar over the candle. Mark the portion of the jar above the water level into 5 equal parts as shown in figure below. After some time the candle flame goes off. After a few minutes, you will find that water level inside the gas jar has risen by 1/5 of the volume of the jar. Inverted gas jar. Air 5 parts. Burning candle. Water. Trough. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Gas jar stand. Nitrogen 4 parts. Candle stop burning. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Water risen due to consumption of oxygen of air 1 part. Burning candle would have used up oxygen. Therefore, this decrease in volume is equal to the volume of oxygen in air inside the jar. This component of the air must be supporting the combustion of candle. This component is known as oxygen. Now, cover the gas jar while keeping its mouth with the jar cover and insert a burning splinter inside the gas jar. The burning splinter gets extinguished. This proves that the gas inside the jar does not support combustion. This gas is mainly nitrogen. This activity shows that oxygen is necessary for burning and air contains two gases, nitrogen and oxygen. 3. Carbon dioxide. It is colorless, odorless but fairly soluble in water, 1.5 times heavier than air and non-combustible and non-supporter of combustion. It is also an important gas for plants and animals. Its increased concentration in atmosphere causes greenhouse effect along with other gases. It is responsible for increase in temperature and global warming. It is present at an extent of 0.03% by volume in air. 4. Water vapor. Water vapor is always present in air. Let us perform an activity to show the presence of water vapor in air. Activity 16.2. Take a glass of water and put a few pieces of ice in it. Wipe it from outside with a dry towel. Wait for a few minutes. You will notice that water droplets appear on the outer walls of the glass. It is because when air comes in contact with cool surface of the glass, it gets cooled. As a result of this, some of the vapor gets converted into water droplets. These droplets deposit themselves on the outer surface of glass tumbler. Condensation of water vapor. Condensation. 5. Dust particles. Air always contains smoke, dust particles. The amount of these in the air varies from place to place and from time to time. For example, the smoke and dust particles are found in industrial area and village area. Let us perform an activity to show that air always contains smoke and dust particles. Activity 16.3. Choose a sunny room in your home. Shut doors and windows so that no light from outside enters it. Now open the door or a window facing the sun, just a little, in such a manner that sunlight can enter from outside. You will see tiny dust particles shining in the beam of light. These particles move in a zigzag way. This activity shows that air also contains dust particles. 6. Smoke. Sometimes smoke is also present in the air. Smoke consists of fine carbon particles and some gases. Smoke is produced by the burning of fuels, such as wood, coal, kerosene, petrol, and diesel, etc. Breathing in air containing smoke damages our health. We usually see tall chimneys in factories. The tall chimneys in factories are installed to take the smoke produced in the factory high up in the air so as to reduce its harmful effects on the ground, where people live. The burning of fuel such as petrol and diesel in the engines of vehicles, such as cars, buses and trucks, etc., also produces smoke containing harmful gases. This smoke is emitted into air through the exhaust pipes connected to the engine of vehicles. Smoke coming out the tall chimneys of a factory. Smoke being emitted by the exhaust pipe of a vehicle. Policemen regulating traffic often wear masks to protect himself from smoke emitted by vehicles around him. The traffic policemen who regulate traffic at crowded city road crossing often wear masks. The traffic police wear masks to protect themselves from the smoke containing harmful gases which is emitted by the vehicles moving around them. Every living being respires. You have studied in previous chapter that different organisms live in different habitat. Terrestrial organisms, aquatic animals live in water and amphibians live on both land and water, since all living organisms require air to breathe all the time. Let us study how plants, fish and mammals take in and give out oxygen. Respiration in plants. Plants have small openings called stomata on the undersides of leaves. The stomata open or close to let gases enter or leave. During the day, plants need carbon dioxide to make food. This gas, from the air, enters the plant through its stomata. Then the plant produces oxygen through photosynthesis process and leaves it through stomata. Thus, plants also respire through tiny stomata. Open stomata. Guard cells, swollen. Chloroplast. Cell wall. Stoma. Inner cell wall. Vacuole. Nucleus. Closed stomata. Guard cells, shrunken. Respiration in animals. Different animals respire in different ways. 1. Unicellular animals like amoeba respire through their cell membranes by diffusion. The cells tap oxygen directly and pass out carbon dioxide in the same way. 2. Multicellular organisms like the hydra respire through their moist outer surface by diffusion. 3. Some animals like whales, fishes etc. live in water. They use gills to respire. When water passes through the gills, oxygen dissolved in the water is absorbed into the blood vessels. Carbon dioxide is also removed from the blood vessels through the gills. Amoeba, nucleus, pseudopods, cytoplasm, membrane, cell, contractile vacuole. Food vacuole digests food. Let us perform an activity to show that water contains air. Fish and a large view of gills. Gill ARCH. Direction of water flow. Operculum gill cover. Activity 16.4. Take a beaker half filled with fresh water. Place the beaker on the heat as shown in figure. The water begins to boil. Look carefully. You will see the bubble of air rising up in water. From where did these bubbles come? These bubbles come from the air dissolved in water. When water is heated, the air dissolved in it comes out. From the above activity it is clear that air dissolves in water. Water has air in it. When water is heated, the air dissolved in it comes out in the form of tiny bubbles. Respiration in humans. Human beings have highly developed lungs for respiration. The lungs are connected to the nostrils by the windpipe and air tubes. The air you breathe in through nostrils goes into lungs. During respiration, oxygen in the air that we breathe in is transported to body tissues by the blood, and carbon dioxide is taken away from them and goes into the air that we breathe out. Living organisms that live in soil breathe by air present in the soil. You have previously studied that earthworms come out of the soil when it rains. Let us perform an activity that soil contains some amount of air. Respiratory organs in humans. Nasal cavity, nostril, oral cavity, larynx, right main, bronchus, right lung, pharynx, trachea, left main bronchus, left lung, diaphragm. Activity 16.5. Take a small quantity of water in a beaker. Add a handful of soil into it. In a few moments you will see that air bubbles coming out of the soil. Formation of small bubbles of air in water shows that the soil contains some air in between the soil particles. Soil has air in it. Water, air, bubbles, soil. Balance of oxygen and carbon dioxide. As you know that all green plants make their own food through photosynthesis. During this process, they use water and carbon dioxide in the presence of sunlight and convert it into a compound. This compound is called carbohydrates. The excess of oxygen is also released in this process. Thus, they do not consume oxygen for food making. They need oxygen for respiration, but they produce more of it. Where does it go? Similarly, animals and humans also release excess of carbon dioxide during respiration. Where does it go? The answer is same for both. You know, animals and humans need oxygen for respiration. They consume it from the atmosphere. Similarly, plants need carbon dioxide for photosynthesis. They consume all the carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. Thus, we can say that both need each other. The balance of oxygen and carbon dioxide in the atmosphere is maintained. We breathe in O into 2. Plant breathe out O into 2. Keywords. Smoke. Suspended carbon particles present in air. Gravity. The pull of the earth on bodies. Atmosphere. The blanket of air surrounding the earth. Gills. Organs of gaseous exchange in aquatic animals. Lungs. A pair of sac-like organs below heart. Stomata. Openings or pores present on the underside of leaves. Summary. Air is found everywhere, but we cannot see it. Air is a mixture of nitrogen, 78%, oxygen, 20.9%, and other gases, 0.1%. such as water vapor, carbon dioxide, helium, dust particles. The blanket of air surrounding Earth is called atmosphere. The moving of air is known as wind. Air has many uses. Breathing plants and animals, burning paper, the flying birds, etc. all need air. Our atmosphere helps us in many ways. Air keeps the earth warm enough to support life. Oxygen is essential for combustion, or burning, of fuels. Nitrogen is an inactive gas, it neither helps burning nor burns itself. Carbon dioxide is an important gas for plants and animals. Plants breathe through stomata. Stomata are tiny pores through which exchange of gases takes place. Aquatic animals like fish breathe through gills. Human beings have highly developed lungs for respiration. Plants and animals are interdependent on each other.